Greetings everyone. I thought I would do some live playthroughs of the original Mortal Kombat games, so starting off with Mortal Kombat 1. I'm going to be playing through MAME emulator using the revision 5.0 ROM, essentially. So this is where it all started for me back in 1992. When the game came out in the arcade, I was I think 10 or 11 years old, and I didn't really have much experience with arcade games back then. Nevertheless, I used to go to our local arcade and watch some of my other friends play games. And then one day Mortal Kombat arrived, and some of my friends started playing it, and I just instantly became attracted to the imaginary images and the whole scenario of the game, and became a regular player essentially. And then this was during summer of I believe 1993, when it hit our arcade, but I spent the whole summer sitting and watching this game and cabinet and playing through it as much as I could. So with that, it's to play through, and I'm gonna pick my Scorpion. Actually, changed my mind. I'm gonna go with Sub-Zero, because Sub-Zero was the first character that I started playing this game with, and I ended up more of a Scorpion player. So MK1 is just over 40 years at this stage. Sorry, 30 years. It came out in 1992, and it still holds up quite well, but I would say only to those people who have grown to love it in the first place. If you are a new generation gamer coming into this, can be quite tricky or difficult compared to other games that are out there currently. And I actually have a son who's 8 years old and a daughter 11 years old, and with my son he just recently started getting into this whole Mortal Kombat thing. Obviously he sees all of the stuff that I have here around the house, and I have my arcade in the garage parked, and posters everywhere, figures everywhere, all this kind of stuff. But he recently got pretty much interested in this whole Mortal Kombat thing, and I realized at 8 years old this might not be the proper game for him, so kind of tone it down for him in terms of removing blood and fatalities when we play, and we started playing essentially. So we'll see how that goes. But him being the new generation of me, he's definitely interested in Hook, but I can see that it's quite a challenge to get into a game like this nowadays, given the way the mechanics work. So with MK1, for me, MK1 and MK2 are two of the favorite games, and then just borderline MK3 as well. I know a lot of people prefer UMK3. I'm pretty much, I guess, in the minorities that I hate UMK3, and I'm more of a fan of MK3, but that's a topic for a different video. For MK1, this is what it started up with all. I think it did not age that good, but for people that were fond of this game back then, like me, this still holds up pretty well. Gameplay wise, I think some of the biggest changes that this game introduced is that you had a set of standard moves for every character, like the sweeps, roundhouse kicks, uppercut, and in general the special moves were very easy to pull off compared to some of the other games, like have you tried Battle of Fury, and some of the SNK games. It's just crazy. And but this one it's a lot more accessible, and then you also have these characters and interesting stories that kind of is missing from the other fighting games, and it was mainly the atmosphere and the background of the characters that got hooked me into MK in the first place, not the gameplay. I like the gameplay as well, but it was always characters and a story for me first. As for MK1, I think from a difficulty perspective, if I had to rate the classic games from the 90s, this is probably one of the most difficult one. For me it used to be MK2, which was the most difficult one, but over time I learned that MK2 is actually the easiest Mortal Kombat ever released, just because of the patterns that you can do, and the once you know what you need to do, it's fairly easy to do this game. Not so much with MK1. You have a lot more limited moveset in terms of your characters and special abilities, and it's a big roster that you need to essentially beat throughout the game. So once you beat the main 7 characters, then it's up for endurance rounds, which I haven't really seen in other just last rounds. I haven't really seen in any other games previous to this. They probably did this due to the lack of characters in the game, but in overall I would say it can be quite challenging and tough to beat it just with 1 coin. And I recently started playing it again, and I wasn't really able to be able to beat the game with everybody right from the start with just 1 coin, which I used to be able to do. I'm still pretty much okay with Sub-Zero and Scorpion, but once I get to Goro, it's a whole different story. So, but the good thing about this game is that, as I said, although it does have limited movesets, on the positive, it's not that much that you need to remember. The main type of game that I'm doing with MK1 is usually relying on the jump kicks and sweeps, and then depending on the characters, doing the various special moves. With Sub-Zero and Scorpion, it's easy to get a free hit just due to your special moves. With the other characters, it's a bit more tricky. The only character that I really have an issue with in this game is Liu Kang. As a player, I'm stuck with Liu Kang in this game, and pretty much with every other games as well, but it's just the way the character was essentially digitized, and the way that the hitboxes are laid out, I just couldn't really make it work in terms of getting like the roundhouse kicks, or not the roundhouse, the jump kicks land and all this kind of stuff. So as an opponent it can be quite difficult, and if there's one section I would change in MK1 is to remove this Test Your Might entirely. It's just pointless filler. I get that why they wanted to have this in the game, but since I have the original arcade as well, and even on keyboard, there's no point in doing this other than fucking up your controllers with smashing buttons for no reason, and it just breaks up the cycle of the game for me. And this was one of my main issues with Shaolin Monks. That's almost like a perfect game for me, apart from these Test Your Might scenarios being put into where you need to just smash the buttons like crazy and fuck up your controllers. It's not fun at all, and it's just it's tiresome after a while. But I get it why they had it in MK1. Street Fighter did have one as well, but I'm glad that they got rid of it for the rest of the series. So as far as the game is concerned, once you get up to the 7th person character, you are facing up against yourself. That's kind of a mirror match, and then it's up to the endurance rounds when you have to face up against 2 opponents after each other with 1 health bar, which is quite an asshole move I think I get that they wanted to extend the gameplay time, but doing it this way is just difficult. Or if they would have, like, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 endurance runs, I would have been fine with it, but 3 is just too much. So, and, depending on the pairings, so Kano, Raiden, that's usually the easier pairing along with Sonya and Sub-Zero, but once you get like Liu Kang and Johnny Cage, those fights can be fairly difficult, especially with one health bar, but so far we are doing fine, so I'm just gonna rely as much as I can on the jump kicks. Hopefully Kano is going to do a special move, and then I get a free hit. Okay. Let's see. I was able to hit it, but I'll try to finish it off mainly with the jump kicks. Slide moves also quite handy. And then I just wanted to do a frozen fatality on Raiden, but I screwed it up. Okay. I don't get Liu Kang, but I get 2 Johnny Cage. That might be an issue. I got a bit of lucky there. And I'm just expecting him to do a shadow kick like this. And then over to Sonya. So Sonya is probably the easiest character to play against in the game. Nevertheless, she can be a pain in the ass as well. But as you can see, I'm just gonna keep on doing these jump kicks.
Sub-Zero wins. Fight.
I'm gonna do a freeze move now. Absorb some damage, get back, and then hopefully he's gonna do a shadow kick eventually, and then I can just freeze him. Okay, so far so good. I don't think that this round is going to be an issue. And there we go. So we are now going to Goro's lair to face off against the last pair of endurance fighters, and then it's up to Goro. And I don't know how I was able to do it in the past, but lately Goro I could only beat consistently with Sub-Zero and Scorpion, essentially. With all the other characters I'm struggling quite a bit in this one. Even Raiden can be a pain in the ass. Which he is. Yeah, just spamming all the way. And now I'm fucked. Okay, Johnny Cage, I need to do a flawless victory on him with this amount of energy that I have, and I think that's I'm gonna try to get out.
Johnny Cage wins.
I got stuck, otherwise I just wanted to break out from the corner, but I just had no energy left. So what I need to do is I need to conserve as much health as possible against Raiden, and then focus on Johnny Cage. That's strange, it should have landed. And now I'm being fucked in the corner.
Zero wins.
I mean, back in the arcades it was, you know, quite stressful, as I only had a limited amount of money that I could spend on video games every day. So you almost never continued once you lost the game, because you would rather play from the start the full game. You would get, you know, more play time through that. Here in MAME or, you know, playing at home, there's not much stress going about it. And one thing I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna do a finish run. As you can see, I'm still backing up, pressing it to the right, so that you can get away from Goro and then start off with the jump kick. So with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, you can just jump kick him and then do your special move, either the spear or, you know, freeze him. With every other characters, you are going to be bashed pretty much. It's very difficult. Or at least for me, even after all these years. Just something about the look of Go that still stands out even after 30 years. And again with Kintaro as well, who's my all-time favorite character, essentially. Now it's up to Shang Tsung, and due to his transformation abilities, and the way that the AI manages the transformations in a clever way, he's the best boss from all of the bosses in MK series in the arcades. I think even better than Shao Kahn, although Shao Kahn looks cooler. This one is a lot more challenging fight, especially since they changed to Goro as well, and I got screwed. Okay, I'm gonna start jump kicking him. Maybe not. So he's gonna back off, and then I was pressing the wrong button. When I'm playing with MAME, I'm preferring to use the keyboard instead of like a joypad. It just kind of feels better, but it's the actual arcade stick that I prefer the most. Oh shit! It's just an insane amount of damage that these flaming spells do. So, I'm a bit surprised that I was able to beat it for the first go without going down in any of the rounds, but I got lucky that I didn't get Liu Kang in the endurance round. So, the one thing I don't get with NetherRealm Studios lately is that they have completely ditched the original arcade games on which the whole series was built on. In the previous console iteration, you at least had the Mortal Kombat arcade collection, which, shitty as it was, it still had something there. On the new generation, there's nothing. And I just simply don't get why they cannot make an arcade perfect port or emulation after 30 years, or just license MAME and then just do it this way. It just bogs my mind. There was never a proper release, especially for MK1. The closest to home releases is the early Xbox version that was, you know, out there on MK Reception. But even that had some issues around the MK arcade treasures. But I just don't get it. So, NetherRealm, wake up, do some classic Mortal Kombat for a change. So, hope you enjoyed this. Next video I'm going to be doing a run through MK2, so see you there.